honor of me graduating college this week, I was like, you know what? We're going to rip the Band-Aid off. We're going to check our student loan debt. I don't know any way I'm going to be able to pay that off, other than selling my organs on the black market.
Why are we giving these loans to children? These are debts without consumer protections, and we're just handing them out like candy to children. All right, today we're going to be talking about a crisis in our country. Unfortunately, it happens to be one of the most difficult debts to erase. It is the most predatory of all loans, and that happens to be our student loan crisis. Let's take a look.
So as it turns out, the student loans that I've been paying $1,500 a month for 2 years have a 17% interest rate. So what I thought I've been paying off for all this time, I'm actually, I owe more than what I started off with. What the fuck? So, Jeff Bezos, this would be a really cool time to Venmo me, bro. I owe $90,000, and I didn't even spend that much on school. Any rich person, please tap in. Kourtney Kardashian, you probably have 8 houses. I'm never gonna be able to buy one because I went to college. I just signed up to be an egg donor. Guess what? Got approved. Who wants my fucking kids? I can't afford them, so start a bidding war. Just take them. What do you want? My left arm too? What the fuck am I supposed to do? I'm gonna be in debt for my whole fucking life. How does that even make sense? I signed up for this shit when I was 17. This should not be legal, bro. I got upset about it at work, and my coworker was like, don't you have a rich relative who can pay that for you? No, my family's poor. No. And the worst part is, bro, look where I am. I can't go in because I can't spend money, but I just want to be here because it makes me feel better.
What do you guys think about that? Drop your comments below. I personally, that hurts my heart. It hurts my heart, guys. There is neurological evidence that the prefrontal cortex is not fully developed until around 25 years old. Why are kids at the ages of 17 and 18 years old, before many or most of them have even voted, before they've held full-time jobs, before they're even in some cases allowed to buy cigarettes, before they're able to buy a car, before they can rent a car, before they can rent their own place, before they're able to get a loan for more than a few $1,000s, much less $10,000, much less 6 figures, able to go out and get that type of money, and then being charged 17%. And as I mentioned at the top of this episode, these are by far the most difficult loans to erase. They are not dischargeable in a bankruptcy. So you will be paying on this debt one way or the other. And people are now having their incomes garnished for student loan payments. I'm afraid to see what the next video is, but before we do, let's take a look at a couple of the comments. If you guys want us to read some of your comments on future videos, please leave comments below. Also, share any other types of topics that you might want us to cover on these reaction videos. Comment 1, I can't afford a house because I went to college. Isn't that crazy? My whole life, I was taught that if we went to college, we would get a good job, that it would increase the odds of us going out there and earning good money, that we would earn more than those who didn't go to college. And how many people around you now do you know that aren't even in the field of the degree that they ended up getting? Or like me, went to college for a couple of years and didn't finish. That money was just flushed right down the toilet. It is very, very tough to justify any of this at this point. Another comment, student loans should be 0% interest. I like that. I mean, especially the federal loans. Why wouldn't the government allow the repayment to be as likely as possible, not bury every single student coming out of school in a mountain of debt, and give them a little better chance at kicking things off? Obviously, there are things like subsidized loans where the government does pay for the cost of interest through the time you're in school. Most people don't have those. Another comment, the amount of sheer greed it takes to put a 17% interest rate on a student loan disgusts me. It disgusts me too. It's again, I'm afraid to see what other videos are in today's episode, because I have a feeling we're going to see a lot of that, where people are just simply making payments and it's all going towards interest. A kidney is $30,000. Ask me how I know. There you go. Perhaps it boils down to selling body parts. Student loans are a scam. You'll never convince me otherwise. So I think we can all agree. And if you're perhaps not in the loop on this, maybe you were just fortunate enough to either get some form of a scholarship or have your parents contribute towards your college, or even cash flowed it yourself and worked hard and was able to pay for it through school. I always had a job all the way through school. Maybe that's part of the reason that I didn't finish. It was just too much of a burden to be working full time and continue to go to school. So when I was offered a promotion with a company that I planned on being with for a long time, I took it and I got the heck out of there. But this is a major problem, and it is one that if you're currently straddled with student loan debt, you are going to have to deal with. There's just no ifs, ands, or buts or any other way around it. These are going to be things that need to be worked into the budget, and you're going to have to take control of it as soon as possible. Ignoring it is only going to drive those balances higher, and they're going to come for you. They're going to come for you. Obviously, a lot of people are going to be feeling hopeless about this right now. Hopelessness is not going to help. It's understandable, but it certainly is not going to be helpful. Let's take a look at the second video.
In honor of me graduating college this week, I was like, you know what? We're going to rip the Band-Aid off. We're going to check our student loan debt. And I kind of at a ballpark range, like I knew how much I owed, not down to like the exact dollar amount. I'm the type of person who gets nervous to check their bank account after a weekend out. So I took a look. I took a hard gander at exactly how much money I owe. I'm gonna die with it. Like, I can confidently say there wasn't even like a panic. It was just like my heart sank to my ass. I'm gonna die with it. Like, I don't know any way I'm gonna be able to pay that off other than selling my organs on the black market. This is why I don't understand why people shit on sugar babies, because like I could get this all paid off tomorrow. Maybe not tomorrow, but you know what I mean, like within the year. If I just found a rich man and everyone's like, patriarchy, don't work for them. Ask not what you can do for the patriarchy, but what the patriarchy can do for you. If it benefits me, then maybe it's not the patriarchy. Maybe it's just a helping hand.
All right. I guess that's what it boils down to, folks. Selling body parts or selling your body. This is tragic. People are already accepting that they're going to have this for the rest of their lives. Why are we giving these loans to children? These are debts without consumer protections, and we're just handing them out like candy to children. I guess when it comes down to it, I think people need to be a lot more intentional about the decision to go to college. What do you guys think? Because there are so many people that simply are not using the degrees that they actually graduated with and paid for, I think you really are going to have a better understanding of what you want to be focusing on in your career to decide whether or not college is right for you. Really reconsidering whether or not it makes sense to go out of state for that degree versus staying local. Whether or not it makes sense to just knock out some of your prerequisites through a community college and saving the money there. If you're in the position where you're either having these conversations with your kids or you're a young person right now that's thinking about getting into school, you just have to know what you're getting yourself into and understand how much debt you're going to be facing. You've got to have a better understanding of how interest works. You're going to, again, then have to decide whether or not it's worth it, because it is going to determine the rest of your life in some way, shape, or form. Even if you manage to pay these debts off earlier, you're going to be affected by those debts and the repayment of those debts forever until you die. They will affect your investing power. They will affect your purchasing power. They will affect your quality of life. You will spend a tremendous amount of money on costs of interest, which have nothing to do with the cost of school. So if you're somebody that's looking at getting into school and taking on debt, or you have a young adult in your household and you're thinking about school, you're thinking ahead about how to plan for this stuff, it's going to make it almost impossible for you to get out from underneath this if you're not tracking as you go. You've got to be tracking as you move along, which will help you make the decisions as to whether or not taking on more debt or any at all is the right decision for you.